Okay, welcome everyone.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך.
Welcome everybody to Shalvah this week. It's time for introspection and equanimity. That's right, that's what Shalvah means. And today we're looking at this verse from the Torah that's very familiar to us from the Shema, the Ve'ahavta line. And I just want to go through it a little bit because I think we are so familiar with it that sometimes we don't stop long enough to think deeply about it. And it's a very resonant line. First of all, it has this idea of love, and we often talk about God's love for us, and this is emphasizing our love for God, not only as something that might exist, but as something that we are commanded to do. Ve'ahavta's command form, you shall love God. And it's interesting to think, as we often do, about being commanded to love. There are other times we are commanded to love, right? Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor as yourself. And here we're also commanded to love. We're commanded to love God. I think the problem we have with it sometimes is it seems so immaterial. Loving our neighbor, we can imagine that we might express the love for our neighbor by doing things for our neighbor, giving our neighbor food or sustenance or support if they need it, as many people have been doing in this time. But what does it mean to be commanded to love God? It seems hard to grasp. And so the rabbis look at the other parts of the verse to try to teach us, what does it mean to love God? And it starts by saying, B'chol levavcha, with all of your heart. And we in our culture today think of the heart as the seat of emotions, but biblical scholars teach us that the heart in ancient times was seen as being the seat of the intellect, the place where our thinking happens. And so, in that context, saying that we should love God with all of our heart is to say we should love God with our intellect. In other words, we should apply our intellect to doing mitzvot, to trying to perfect the world, to trying to understand what God might want of us at this moment, and then to do it. So it's the commandment of loving God maybe could be fulfilled through that kind of intellectual effort. And Rambam Maimonides taught that our intellect itself, our ability to reason, our rationality, is a gift from God. And what we're meant to do with that gift is to try to apprehend God's presence and to apprehend what God wants of us, and then to figure out how to put that into action. So just by looking at those two words, that phrase, we can imagine that loving God has to do with that, has to do with using our intellect and figuring out how do we put the ideals we find into action. And then the second phrase, uvchol nafshecha, the nefesh, we often, and here it's translated, I think, accurately for our understanding of today as soul. But I was just saying in another learning earlier today that we're taught that the word nefesh in biblical Hebrew, the word nefesh usually means actually our bodies, not something immaterial that resides within the body, but the body itself, our life, is our nefesh. And we say that when we refer to people as nefashot or a nefesh, shivim nafesh. So in that sense, it's about how do we use our body's strength in order to love God. And we don't have a system of sacrifice where we're offering material things to God. So I think here we're talking about the kinds of mitzvot that we do with the strength of our body, that we actually have to apply ourselves physically, not just mentally, to doing the mitzvot. So many of the mitzvot are not mental. They are not simply intellectual exercises, but they're things we actually have to use our bodies to do. Providing tzedakah can be a physical effort, or trying to care for another soul. That's a physical thing with something we use our bodies for. And of course, just like the intellect, our bodies are gifts from God. And so we're meant to use them. We know that people can use their bodies in all sorts of different ways, and people can use their bodies to promote violence. They can do all sorts of things that are against the way of Torah, and they can also use their bodies and the strength of our bodies to fulfill mitzvot, to help other people, to try to do our best to ameliorate the conditions that other people might be in. And of course, this also includes taking care of our bodies. That's one of the mitzvot. Shmirat haguf is taking care of the body. So we need to do everything we can to take care of our bodies and other people's bodies. That's one of the paths to loving God. And then this last phrase, v'chol me'odecha, is a little mysterious, what me'odecha really means. And some commentators connect it to the word me'od, and not in the sense of very, but in the sense of sort of something. How can I explain it? It's everything that we have, things that might not be our intellect, things that might not be our body, that other resources we might have. And these are maybe the resources of the soul, the resources are emotional resources. Maybe those are the things that we're trying to apply. And how do we use those to love God? And I think this comes to the place of something I often say, that most often we experience God's love through our love of other human beings. And I think so too, we can most often experience what it's like to love God by loving other creatures, by loving other human beings. If other human beings are created in God's image, then to love another human being is to love God. So it goes both ways. We experience God's love through other human beings, and we can express our love of God through using all of our emotional resources to love other human beings. So just experiencing that kind of love and being aware of all the different ways that we can show love for God and experience God's love for ourselves through other people, I think that can provide a comforting container for us to exist in, even during very trying times like the ones we're living through. It provides us with a kind of enclosure, this surrounding feeling of love that we can receive and that we can give and express as a gift to God and to other human beings.
So that leads really well into a loving kindness meditation. So today we're going to do a loving kindness meditation, and this is something that I have found to be soothing for myself, and it's also a great thing to do if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't go back to sleep, which I deal with more often than I wish I did. And I know probably everybody does periodically. So a meditation teacher, Sharon Salzberg, suggested that as a way to get back to sleep. And I thought that was a really wonderful suggestion, and I've done it. And I feel like it probably worked, but either way, I felt better. So, so we're going to start that now. So wherever you are, let's gently close our eyes or gaze down in front of where you are on the floor, if you'd prefer that, and become aware of your body. Feel where you're sitting. Feel the top of your head gently, gently pulling you up so that you're in a relaxed, alert position. Feel your hands gently on your lap. Feel where the palms are resting, all that touch, and then the tops of your hands. Maybe the air is cool there. Feeling your feet resting on the floor. Feeling your toes, the balls of your feet, your arches, your heels. Really bringing awareness into your body. Noticing any places that feel uncomfortable, any tension. Just noticing, not trying to change it. And then bringing your attention to the anchor of your breath. We call it an anchor because we can come back to it at any point if our minds get distracted. So taking a few deep breaths to arrive here. Noticing wherever your breath is most prominent. You might feel it in your belly, in your chest, in your nostrils. Trying to follow the entire inhalation and exhalation. If your mind is distracted from your breathing, you can bring it back to your body. Remembering your hands, your feet, your belly breathing. Just breathing naturally, not trying to change it, just noticing. Becoming curious about your breath, noticing your inhalations and exhalations, the length of them, whether they're deep or shallow. And then we're going to bring ourselves some compassion by offering ourselves loving kindness. And I'll offer a few phrases, but you may have different phrases that you prefer, and that's totally fine. So I'm going to start with, may I be well. Really letting that resonate. What does that feel like? May I be well. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I feel peace. May I be safe. May I be filled with loving kindness. And we're going to move on to someone you love, someone who it's really easy to think of and just feel love. It can be a pet, it can be a child or a grandchild, spouse, friend. So picture that person in your mind. May you be well. May you feel peace. May you be safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you feel peace. May you be safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. Now bringing someone who's a little more challenging for you to mind. Someone challenging, but for whom you still wish really well. So once that person is with us, may you be well. May you feel peace. May you be safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you feel peace. May you be safe. May you be filled with loving kindness. Now we're going to cast our net over the whole world, all the living beings, every soul who gives praise, every blade of grass, every breath. May we be well. May we feel peace. May we be safe. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we feel peace. May we be safe. May we be filled with loving kindness. And feeling your breath, feeling your body. Taking subtle note of how you're feeling now. Continuing to breathe for a couple of moments. And then when you're ready, opening your eyes. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך.
We wish to all of you a week of feeling at peace, a week of feeling loved, a week of feeling loving, and we'll see you here again next week.